Well, good morning, folks. Dan here with M&M Express here in beautiful Minnesota on our good snowstorm morning. Just wanted to come to you today. We've been wanting to make this video for quite a while with our tractors. Today we wanted to demo the MK Marin, what's called the pull type drive forward snowblowers. Up until this point with tractors and snowblowers, we've had two choices. We've had the old school 3 points where we drive in reverse or have to look behind us all the time. And we've had the front mount snowblowers that we can put onto the front. The disadvantage to the 3 point in the rear was that we had to look backwards and drive in reverse. The disadvantage to the front mount was it was a lot more difficult to take on and off. And then we also lost use of our bucket, so that if we did get stuck or we did need to use our bucket or scrape anything, we couldn't really do that with the front mount on the front. Now we want to showcase the third option we now have with tractors, which is the MK Marin pull type drive forward. Let's come check it out. So this is the 54-inch made by MK Marin. It runs off our power takeoff, we can see here. Comes with a 7-year warranty on it. And what this allows us to do is a few things. One, it allows us to come to something. We can add an optional back drag blade right here. It allows us to come up to a garage door or a walkway and be able to drag that forward and then turn around and blow it from behind us. So a few advantages to this. One, if we had a soft enclosure on this tractor here, everything would be blown from behind us. So on the days where it's real windy or the days that it's just like a blizzard out, now we're blowing everything behind us. Whether we had a soft enclosure, an open station, or a cab, now it's not blowing in our face or freezing our front windshield over. Everything is blowing from behind us. The second advantage is that it's running off your power takeoff. So you have a lot of torque and a lot of power because we're not losing any of that power through the drivetrain of the mid mount like we would in a front mount. Then the third advantage, and in my opinion, one of the biggest advantages, is then we would still have our bucket on the front. So whether we had a snow pusher, a snow blade, or our regular bucket in the front, now it allows us to, A, never get stuck because we can use that bucket to get out. And two, if we have some areas where maybe we can't drive forward through it, now we can still use our bucket and scoop those areas before we come and blow it away from our pull type snowblower. So we wanted to show you this. As far as price goes, this is kind of in the middle. So this isn't as expensive as your front mount snowblowers because we don't need that mid mount kit, but it's also not as low a cost as your old 3 point drive in reverse style. It's kind of in the middle. So we're going to demo this for you today. We're going to show you how it works and how we operate it. One of the biggest things that I hear with guys with tractors when they're coming to look at purchasing is the hard decision of, do I want a cab or do I want an open station? Now, obviously the cab, we would have heat, which would be really nice. But I try to remind customers that if you've been using a walk behind snowblower or maybe a four-wheeler in the past, it is not going to take you as long to clear your driveways in your areas with a tractor. You're going to do it so much faster that it's not as big of a deal. Also, with an open station, we could add a soft enclosure cab to this just to stay out of the elements. And then when springtime comes, we could take that off and go back to our open station. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. There are still those people that are like, no, I want air conditioning and heat in a cab. We totally understand. But for the other guys, this is a good solution, and they're usually very happy with this solution. So let's get to it and demo this thing and show you how it works. Good. now that we were demoing the snowblower and kind of showing you what the options are, I wanted to take a minute and talk about the options that we have with these snowblowers too. So when we're actually operating them, we have 3 different options to be able to rotate both the chute and the deflector, okay? The first option is we have the standard crank that it comes with. So as you can see with these set screws here, we should be able to adjust this, and I could adjust it in and out. I could lean back and I could rotate this left to right, and that would be the manual way of doing it that it would come with by default when we order it. The second option we have is, as long as we have hydraulic ports right here in the back of our tractor, we can then hook up hydraulic rotation, and you could rotate it with the loader joystick left to right, okay? Our third option is to add electronic rotation, and that would be where we would rotate this. The deflector would have a little motor on it, and we could control the rotation of this left to right, and we could control the rotation up and down. So for a cab tractor, or for a tractor that wants to be able to rotate, those are our 3 options. As far as price goes, obviously the manual is what it comes with already in with the price that you purchase it with. Second option would be that hydraulic rotation. Third option would be the most expensive, is that electronic rotation. So I want to take a minute to talk about that, because when customers ask, well, how can I rotate this tractor with the snowblower on it while I'm using it? Those are our 3 options.
M&M Express, conquer the season.